All right, first item is the charter. We just had our public hearing. Two weeks ago, other than the 5 items we just discussed, we basically were in step with what the Charter Revision Commission had recommended. Based on the public hearing, we wanted to go through one at a time. Section 3.2, page 9, removal of the vacancy item. We want to continue and send that forward. Discussion on that. I see both sides, exactly.
Yeah, I can absolutely see why, I mean, given the illustration that Karen gave, why in certain circumstances it would be in best interests of the town to keep it the way it is. But outside of a particular circumstance like that, which was a very unusual circumstance, then eliminating that phrase would ordinarily work. So I don't know which side. I mean, we had come to the conclusion to eliminate that statement, to just make the...
To fill the rest of the term.
Right, to fill the rest of the term.
And the way I look at it is the town committee recommends someone generally to fill an appointment and also to go forward for election. So arguably the town committee would bring forward the same person.
Yeah.
So then the public has the opportunity to vote, and I would argue that if it would be the same person, then if we then look at what Karen's talking about, what the state's talking about in terms of paying the ballot, I think it makes sense. Not looking at it politically, because I believe that some of the comments tonight were, well, then only a small group of people put forward this person, the town can't do it. I think it would be the same person that brought forward. And the person that Karen was talking about dropped out, wanted to be on that particular board, but did not want to run again because it won't run at all because it was so close, wasn't it? You know, within a couple of months there was an election.
No, what happened was there was personal issues with one of the candidates that caused that individual to withdraw. So that gave that seat automatically to the other person.
To the other party.
The other party, because the vacancy seat gets filled first. It causes, I don't know if you remember when you're going through your ballot nomination, all the different spots, and you got to try to explain to people, well, no. Yeah, we're running 3 for full, but it's only, you can only get this many because if this one gets filled first, then you're going to have an odd man out, or girl out. Like what happened to Vin with the police commissioner several years ago. I still don't think he was all right with it, but he says something. But it does cause a lot of confusion, some issues. I mean, I will say we've been honoring the town committee recommendations, and it's been going well, I think. And I also feel that the town committee is theoretically a reflection of the entire Republican Party, the entire Democratic Party in town. They're theoretically empowered through a caucus or a primary in some cases to represent that group, in this case 2,500 or so people from each side, and then put forth someone that they feel is qualified. So I think it just makes, and it's hard to get somebody to run for stuff as it is. There's a full seat or whatever. To get somebody to run for something, to put somebody in and tell them, oh, by the way, in a year you're going to have to run for that.
Well, that's what I was saying. Some people come in and toward the end, we're close to an election year, and they feel that they're filling a vacancy, or they believe they're filling a vacancy, and then all of a sudden the town committee comes in and says, oh, we're sorry, I know you've been this for 3 months, but now you have to run. And, you know, I would just say that, you know, that the town committees are bringing forward qualified people, and they're the folks that are going to put people on the ballots anyway, and bring them forward for appointments, then I think we should take the recommendation of the state, the Secretary of State that's calling directly from Karen, and alleviate the problem on the ballot.
So you're saying stay with what we have?
I think that
what we had recommended.
We recommend that.
You know, in respect to the public hearing, there was only one person who spoke against that. And it was clear that most of the people that were here were cognizant of what the changes were. so it didn't seem like there was anybody speaking, I mean.
That wasn't the big issue.
speaking against it.
Right.
So my feeling, I personally would go with what our recommendation was from the last.
Okay.
I think that it is an issue, but it needs to be looked at, and it should go to being that this is the process that we're using, and I feel it's the best way to go in this kind of.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion to recommend that we move the vacancy section 3-2. Second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So as recommended. All right, bone of contention 3-3, which is a 4-year term. I'd say back off on it. If the Charter Revision Commission wants to make that, let them make that. Let them jump on that sword.
Yeah, I think it's
Clear
very
release.
clear there's no support for that.
Well, there was no support.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, how many times Board of Selectmen, regardless, first of the Board of Selectmen, who's ever gotten beaten after one term? When was the last time? Jim Cade?
Oh.
That was the last time. How many years ago was that? She was in for 6 years. Yeah. So it really rarely does it happen that you get knocked out after one term.
Right.
So,
Right.
But the only thing I said is, we should have the option.
if you don't want to run.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to quit in the middle.
Right.
But I might not want to go for it, but
Right.
Is there any way?
I remember when I got elected as zoning board, I said, oh geez, 4 years. That was after one meeting.
Is there any way that we can make a recommendation for staggering the?
If it was done, if they were going to present something in 4 years, I would have to say they'd have to do a stagger. I'd probably have to say that
Only if it was 4 years? Because I
it's
didn't
hard.
see-
You can't really stagger a 2-year term. No, you can't.
because you
Yeah.
don't have any-
So if they went to 4, I would say they'd have to stagger it and say, okay, the only way to do it is one Democratic selectman and one Republican selectman that first time around is running for a 2-year seat, and then it becomes 4 after that, and it's a nightmare. So
Okay. Well,
I'd say I would make a motion to eliminate that recommended change.
thank you. I second that. Did you say you want a motion or you're making that?
You make it.
I'm making the motion to eliminate the recommendation for a 4-year term for the members of the Board of Selectmen.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No abstention. Motion carried. Okay. Reinstatement of the alternates on the Board of Finance.
I make a motion that we reinstate the alternates on the Board of Finance.
Second that.
Any discussion on that?
Very important.
They're at all the meetings, so.
It's a very important position. It needs to be.
And particularly during budget, when they meet twice a week. So, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None abstention, motion carries. All right. This would be the reduction of their recommendation from $50,000 to $20,000, which was actually a $5,000 increase from appropriation.
Before.
Section 4-5.
We discussed this in depth last time, and I had supported being the most responsible with the appropriations.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No abstention, motion carries.
That means you're supporting the 20?
20,
20.
not the 50.
25% increase is more than reasonable.
33%.
30%. With this, the adjustment of cost of living, that works out well.
Okay.
This isn't more.
And then we're going to go to section 10.4, which would be change it back to shall in place of may.
That motion to use the word shall instead of may.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. Discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None abstention, motion carries. So that's what we're going to send back to Charter. Invite them to our meeting next week. We'll sit down there. Then they go from there. If anyone wants to look at the statute, it's peeling through this thing. So, okay. All right. The next item is just a request. Major Carbone couldn't come